Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for February 7th through the 9th, with, of course, the main feature of the forecast period being the storm on Sunday night, Saturday night into Sunday, which has trended a little less significant than it was looking before. Still significant. We're in a very active weather pattern without any huge storms, which is interesting. Although there's been some trends that maybe we'll get one of these storms is going to become bigger than the others. I don't think the one this Sunday is going to be. Plowable snow, it'll disrupt things more than like the inch or two that we had been getting for a lot of February or a lot of January. But on a similar scale to the storm we just had, no mixing with this one. So let's see what's going on across the country. First of all, you can see a few flurries moved through this morning. Mostly, you could still see a few flurries this afternoon. It's going to be windy this afternoon. We do have a wind advisory in effect. There's a chance for a couple of power outages. They'd be widely scattered. I'm not too concerned about it. I think our winds are mostly 40 to 45 miles an hour, maybe 50. The higher elevations, if you're out there skiing right now, you'll know that probably we're at wind holds and things like that. But in general, not too bad. It is cooling off as well. We're ushering in some colder temperatures. And you can see here's our boundary layer or area and our storm kind of starting to come together out west, which is going to pick up some Atlantic moisture from the Gulf and from the Atlantic and head in our direction, but slide mostly to the south of us in terms of the strength, the heaviest of the snow. So I do think areas to the south will get a little bit more out of this one than areas north. But again, it's not it's a quick mover like they all have been. And that's mostly, as you can see, the pattern is we've got quite the jet stream going here across the United States with lots of little impulses in it that cause kind of consistent storms to kind of roll through, but no big blocking high or anything like that out in the Atlantic that would cause things to slow down and give us a chance for something that really could ride up the coast and just hammer us with snow. So, that's sort of where we've been. This system is kind of in the same vein, and it will be in the same vein. And one thing that has changed, one of the reasons we've gotten a little bit more out of the last couple of storms is we've warmed up and gotten more moist in the southeastern United States as the southern jet stream has kind of merged somewhat. And that has allowed for a little bit more moisture to get involved in some of these systems that come through. So they're not just clipper systems, which is kind of what we were dealing with before from a northerly jet stream, but kind of a combined jet, but still no access to kind of a big dip in the jet stream, which would give us a chance for a big coastal storm kind of situation. So let's take a look at what's going on. In terms of, this is what the system looks like it's going to do. Okay, so we're moving in. Precipitation, we'll talk about this later, but basically starts sometime between about 7 and 9 p.m., 8 and 10 p.m. on Sunday, and kind of rolls through. This model doesn't quite get us to the end of the storm. Finishes up Saturday. You can see some light to moderate snow, more snow to our south, and it's a pretty quick mover. So this is hour by hour, so you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then maybe a couple more hours before we really kind of start to lighten up. So a little bit longer maybe than the last system, which is why we have a chance at a little bit more snow. We are going to be colder with this one. No drizzle or anything like that on the back end. No little bit of ice on the back end. This will be all snow. It'll be fluffy snow as temperatures will be in the low 20s for the storm. So skiing should be amazing on Sunday. So if you like not so deep that you really have to be a good powder skier to do it, but one of those days where it'll feel like you're skiing on clouds and there'll be snow everywhere and it'll be fun. So if you get a chance to get out and ski this weekend, it would be a great weekend to do that. Here's my forecast. So again, 3 to 4 inches in general for a lot of southern Vermont. Some of the areas to the north, up north and west of Rutland, I think just 2 to 3 inches. North and east of, say, about Hartford. We're looking at maybe just 2 to 3 inches of snow, but a lot of us are 3 to 4, and then the higher elevations in the southern greens, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Nothing too, I think just the highest of elevations get up to that 6-inch amount. So, as you head a little bit further south, if you're down in the Berkshires of Massachusetts or something like that, there could be some areas. I think the maximum for this storm is more like 8 to 10 in some of those areas to our south, but I think those are south of the Vermont, Massachusetts border, I should say. There is a little bit of wiggle room. This could wiggle a little bit further north, and we could end up with maybe some of those 7, 8-inch amounts totals up, someplace like Mount Snow could get there, or it could sink to the south a little bit more, and a lot of us are basically 3 to 4 inches, and the 2 to 3 kind of expands a little bit, especially in Rutland and Windsor County. So that's sort of the deal. In terms of the overall effect, going the wrong direction with my slide. Sorry about that. Storm detail, snow begins between 8 and 10 p.m. on Saturday. So if you've got evening plans Early evening plans, not a big deal if you're headed out to dinner. If you're out a little bit later, could be slippery anytime after 8 p.m., so just be aware of that. Precipitation ends between about 7 and 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, so less than 12 hours, not a long duration event. And travel will be tough in between those times, but mostly that's when people are asleep. If you're headed out early, if you're headed out to ski, if you're headed like me to head out to church on Sunday morning, it's going to be a little bit on the slippery side, so just be aware of that. Should be getting better I would think by noon or so on Sunday, things start to get better. If you've got Super Bowl plans Sunday night, by then things should be all cleared up. An all-snow event, no mixing. With this one, travel difficult Saturday evening through Sunday morning, and the snow will be fluffy, so Sunday should be a great powder day to ski. Let's take a look at, again, going the wrong direction. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at that weekend forecast. Friday today, that's windy, a few flurries around, highs in the 20s. Those will be falling through the afternoon. Wind chills will be kind of chilly by this afternoon, so just be aware of that. Bundle up if you're out this afternoon. Tomorrow is a mostly sunny day with highs in the upper 20s. Great ski day tomorrow as well. Before that snow rolls in, clouds will start to roll in by tomorrow afternoon. Snow rolls in by, like I said, 8 to 10 p.m. on Saturday night, and morning snow kind of wrapping up on Sunday morning. Temperatures in the mid-20s on Sunday. It's a nice day. We will cool down to be cold Sunday night into Monday with temperatures in the low single numbers, may even get down to 0 or a few degrees below in a couple of spots. So kind of cold on Sunday. That weekend highlight, windy today with gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Like I said, could be a power outage or two, should be short-lived. I wouldn't be too worried about it, but I'll just mention it. Highs generally in the 20s with lows in the teens for the weekend. Saturday night into Sunday morning brings a moderate snow event. Generally that 3 to 4 inches, you saw the map, with a bit more to the south, a bit less to the north. And the active weather pattern continues with multiple storm possibilities next week. Particularly middle of the week, there looks like there's a chance for something. It may go out to sea. It may clip us. And then another one maybe next weekend. Those are kind of the two that are kind of most apparent as opportunities. Both of them bring with them the chance of this kind of an event. So yeah, that's sort of what we're looking at, and it looks busy beyond that too. So we're kind of in this pattern where we're kind of on a pretty regular basis going to see the chance for some snow with light to moderate accumulations. But those add up after a while. The snowpack has been building. Temperatures will look to remain kind of in the 20s for a lot of the time next week. So that's what we're looking for. Thanks for supporting the channel. I do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you can click on the link in the description below. It will show you it'll show you what you get as a patron and things like that. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I'd encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. I'll be back on Monday with a look at next week's work week forecast.